tell you about my show. Wednesday nights. And here we go. It's the rule of three with a touch of Basco. And like the Joker says, and here we go. It's Wednesday night and it's 9 o'clock. Click on the thumbnail, it's about to get hot. We get 3 different questions in only 3 minutes. It ain't for the scared, it ain't for the timid. Some will like us and some just don't. A lot will back us and some just won't. It don't matter with the Khaos crew. We specialize in making things do what they do. So sit back, chill, and enjoy the show with me, Chris, Guy Scar, and Nzo.
Fire, peace. 9 o'clock, Wednesday nights. Don't miss it. Check us out.
What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight. This is Chaos Central's The Rule of Three. Back to doing things normal. We kind of all took a week off from the way we normally would do things because we lost a good guy, JJ. I know you guys have heard about it. Just so you know, up front, if you watch this show and you would like information on how he passed, both Nzo and I can be contacted. His sister contacted both of us. All that his sister asks is that we keep it just kind of between the people who get it. Don't spread it around. If somebody wants to know and you know them, they can message either me or Nzo, either one of us, and we can fill you in on details that we do know. But we're going to move on from that. He had a really nice service yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for everybody who showed up. Not that it matters, but I think the view count between family and friends is up to like 500 now. So it's amazing that you guys turned out for him. And like I said, I have never seen more respectful chat, so I really appreciate it. Well, the chat we get here is respectful. It likes to poke at us sometimes. Anyways, let's get on with the show. 3 topics, 3 minutes. You know how it works. But first, before we do that, let's go over to this one. Nzo right here. Nzo, tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found and what you're up to this week.
What's up, guys? You know the channel Biggaford Entertainment. Later on after this will be the OOC. But other than that, man, I'm just glad to be here.
Awesome. Glad to have you too, man. Always. Danny, tell everybody about yourself, please.
What up? I'm Danny Graham, aka Comment Chat. 1/3 of this fantastic crew that you see here before you. My show was Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Cat Conversation. Last night is normally Nzo's show, which is Chaos List. And of course, we on the Rule of Three now with Chris. And later on, catch Nzo and Roberto's show. OC, boys, usually hot, usually fire. So looking forward to a good show.
All right. So
you playing Men at Work over there, Chris?
What was that?
It sounds like a little bit of Men at Work.
Oh yeah, that's my phone. It goes off, and that's what I have for.
Yeah, let me ask you this question: that picture on the intro, are you in a donut shop?
LEG put me in some sort of donut.
Oh my god!
Thing. I don't know. Anzo, what did you tell him to put me in? Some bakery.
No, that was him. He put.
Oh, that was him. Of course, it was him.
Yeah.
It looked like a donut. I was like, I would be so pissed if he done me like that, boy. It is a cardinal rule for me. I do not eat donuts in uniform.
Well, I don't think he would have put you in there because you're close enough to him. You're like what they call striking distance.
But my coworkers, they'd be like, I don't care. I'm gonna get these donuts. Look, really? I mean, this one lady one morning she brought like 12 dozen donuts. 12 dozen donuts to the police department. I was like, really? I mean, they was grabbing them like crack at it. I was like, you want one? No, I want no fucking donut in uniform. That's just my gripe. Sorry, my rant. I apologize.
No, my dad was a cop for a lot of years, and that was something a lot of them didn't do because that was just the standard.
I don't hardly even drink coffee. When I drink coffee, I'm tired.
Really? That's interesting. I guess it can happen. All right, here it is. The Wheel 9 topics, and we're going to spin it right now. Kept this one up there. With Biden now in office for almost a full year, do you think he has made a difference, and is he still a better choice than Trump?
Yeah, I'll definitely go first on this.
All right, well, we'll bring up that lovely timer, 3 minutes, and your time starts now.
There's a saying that you got to choose sometimes the lesser of two evils. But if evil is about on the same character, well, not on the same characteristics, but if you're evil on one end of the spectrum and the evil and the other, I guess, level of evilness is on the other end of the spectrum, you still fuck either way. So, things that I saw before President Biden and now I see things as President Biden gives me cause for concern. He speaks better. And when I say better, I'm not saying better as in actual speaking, but he speaks with a kinder tone, I think, and it seems like people can tell him things that he may take into consideration. But based on what I saw, if President Trump had something in his mind, it don't matter who said what, he was going to say it. Some things he said didn't make sense because he just believes some crazy stuff. And now some things that President Biden is saying don't make sense because people seem to think that he's senile. I mean, I don't know. We definitely can be we are definitely in a rock and a hard place. It's kind of like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. If I'm being totally honest, I still think President Biden is the lesser of two evils, not by much. I'm not saying it's like a great difference, but it's kind of like if you read the Bible, Prince Ramses and Prince Moses. The slaves definitely like Moses better than they like Ramses. So I think people, and that's a bad analogy, but it's just true. I think some people in the United States like President Biden thought process better, but he's still, at the end of the day, he's still a prince. Most of the slaves did not like Ramses at all because not only was he a prince, he was cruel. Um, did things his way, didn't care who it hurt, was mission oriented. So he's gonna do things his way. That's I think the difference is between the two presidents. Trump didn't care who he hurt. If he said it, he meant it. If it came out, didn't use any kind of tact, didn't use any kind of people skills. If it came across his mind, he said it. Said it first and think later. I think that President Biden definitely thinks first in most cases, but still not able to choose those words and speak out like he should say and makes himself sound like maybe he's suffering from some type of illness. People always got the running joke, Alzheimer's, crazy Joe, all this kind of crazy stuff. I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor, but if I'm being totally honest, I believe that he is the lesser of two evils. And take it for what it is.
All right. Very good. Nzo, 3 minutes, and time starts now.
Well, as being a Canadian, I have no idea if he's doing a better job. That would have to be something from what Americans would have to tell me, But when it comes to public relations, he's definitely doing a better job, right? People are talking a lot about how Biden's a racist and stuff like that, but he ain't coming out and just giving you oh, there's good people on both sides, or saying stuff that make you really say, like, this guy's a damn racist. So in that aspect, he's doing a better job than Trump. When it comes to the politics and his policies, I don't know, because they don't affect me. But has he made a difference? Has any president really made a difference, though? That's the question. You know what I mean? Like, even though they talk a good game, most of the presidents, they say things to hype you up to get your votes, but then when time comes to put things into action, they really don't do it, Obama was the first black president, and a lot of people say that Obama hasn't really done anything for black people in America as well. So I couldn't tell you at the end of the day if he really did, if he does make a difference. uh is he still better than Trump? Absolutely, 100%. You know what I mean? I would sooner watch a Biden speech than watch something with Trump, because we have had a lot of stuff in America happen where, black people were getting killed by cops, or some racist stuff, and Trump really never denounced it. He never really said this is bad, or at least from what I know. So I don't know. I just think that he could have done a lot of things different and better. And I think at least Biden is trying to do that. He's trying to do it different. Whether they have the same ideologies or the same views, I don't know. But at the end of the day, is he's hiding it a lot better than Trump does. And that's basically all I can personally ask for. Because again, his policies and stuff don't affect me over here in Canada. So at least he's a president where I could say, well, at least he gets on the podium and I'm not going to hear no stupid stuff come out of his mouth. We talk about it a lot about Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick's biggest issue was Trump. Trump was a big issue for him. Like, he basically lit the flame to that fire. You know what I mean? So I just think, yeah, I would prefer to have Biden in office than I would Trump. Whether he's a better president or not, that's what you guys would have to decide. I can't tell you.
All right. Let's see here. So, pause it. Is he a better president? Well, that was what, right? Better choice than Trump. Yeah, really, and I hate to say it in this way, but he's a politician. He's always been a politician. He's been there for years. He's got the perfect story, perfect background. His first wife, and I think was it a daughter? I think it was a daughter, died in a car wreck right after he was elected to Senate. The first time, if I remember right. And I don't know, he's got that American background and stuff. And I know there's lots of people that don't like him, and that, he does have his moments where, it looks like he's confused and stuff. But I mean, listen, when we vote 80-year-olds in, Trump acted confused all the damn time. And I don't know why people thought that was great TV, but whatever. If that's your thing, that's fine. But one thing he has done, and again, I'm going to phrase this as he's done it, which he didn't do it, but it's the infrastructure bill. Republicans and Democrats alike have been trying to pass an infrastructure bill for the United States for years because our infrastructure sucks. I live in a state where over half of the bridges we have on our state roads or our federal highways or interstates, that is, are an F or lower in grade. How you get lower than an F, I didn't know that was possible. And I'm scared to death to know that those bridges are still in use. That's an infrastructure problem. He, or Senate and Congress, all that, has come up with a way to hopefully fix that. Now, yeah, I understand that there's been a lot of spending going on in the past 2 years in the United States. And it's not just him. It was also Trump. And yes, I understand Trump was doing it to help bolster the economy, help people who weren't in jobs and stuff. I understand all that. But straight up, truth be told, it's never the president that really comes up with this stuff. It's your congressmen and ladies. And the presidents always get blamed for it. And I'm saying that about Trump, and I'm saying that about Biden both. They get blamed for a lot more than they're actually in charge of. So when you look at it, more people are willing to talk and work with Biden. And we'll see how the Russia thing happens and how it goes. Because, listen, the first thing we all know is that Putin was not happy when Biden got elected, because Biden's probably not going to let him do what he wants. Now, yes, sanctions, all that fun stuff. But is he a better option? Yes, he's a better option. How much, that's debatable. So let's talk about this for 3 minutes. I say it's debatable about how much, and I think, Danny, you might agree with me. One of the big things is when you get these people who are in their 80s and stuff, that's concerning on all sides. Because that's when people are known to have problems with memory and start to forget things or lose their cognitive thoughts, and they all start having more health issues.
They need to have a cutoff for president.
Well, I believe that too. I really do believe that maybe 65, 70.
They have it for any other federal agency. Like in FBI, you can be a certain age.
Well,
I don't think it's like 50 or something like that. So
if it's a higher position.
Yeah, but that's only far and few in between. Like in the military, I mean, you got at a certain age, man, you got to go. And then the way they do that is they got like this cutting process. I forgot the cutting score. If you don't, I think for officers, if you get passed over twice, man, you out. So they can do that same thing, like for presidents. Hey, if you're not elected by age 62, then you're ineligible. Yeah.
Well, I like the 62 because I would say 70 is the cutoff, but that would be for your final term in office. So if your 4 years comes up and you're 70,
you got to be in the race to run before you turn age 62. If you're not in the race, then you just can't do it.
Well, and Shifty, yes, I totally agree with this. Supreme Court, Senate, all of that. I think the Supreme Court should have only 4 permanent justices, and those permanent justices should be 2 Democrat, 2 Republican, and then the rest of them should be of the 9, I think it is 9 Supreme Court justices. I think it should be a 5-4 split for whoever's in the president. So if you have a Republican president, it's 5-4. It's 5 Republicans, 4 Democrats. You don't agree with that? You're muted, Danny.
I think there should be all 9 should be. I think it should be very diverse, like a black, a white, female.
Well, yeah,
Hispanic. They got to be diverse.
Yeah, you need a wide variety of thoughts in the Supreme Court. You can't just have one overwhelming.
They should have a limit too. There's no how about if you get a lifetime? Somebody that just got a fucked up opinion on something. He never life. No. They should have 10 to 15 years. Okay, get some new blood in there. That lifetime appointment, I don't agree with that.
There's a lot of things that we're dealing with in government that was there 100 years or more ago, and nobody's thought to change it.
I got a real hot take, and I know people don't like this, but like once every 10 years, they should have some kind of like a 30-day window or something where we can make changements or amendments to the Constitution, man, because I just think some of this stuff needs to be updated in the Constitution.
Well, term limits in Congress, definitely. And the other thing I think in Congress, and probably I don't know how Canada figures it out, but probably much the same way as we do it. If Congress wants a raise, they have to go to their constituents. And if their constituents don't think that they've done enough for a raise, then they don't get it. It should be voted on by the people that put them in office, not by themselves. I hate the fact. Danny, when was the last time you were able to go into your boss and tell him you wanted to raise?
Well,
not wanted to raise.
I could tell him, but shit.
Doesn't
look at me and laugh and be like,
exactly. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not the one that determines it.
Earlier this year, we got the biggest raise in my career. My boss was able to get us a 7% raise at one time. So that is the biggest one ever.
I'm just saying, if I can't go into my boss and say, oh, by the way, I'm giving myself a 2% raise or something like that, then Congress shouldn't do it either. They need to go to us. And I would say, what is it? What is your Congress called? Anzo, is it it's not the House of Lords, that's British.
House of Senate.
Parliament.
Parliament.
Okay. Yeah, but they probably do the same thing where they can raise their pay and stuff on their own, and it's like, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how government works. So maybe I'm wrong.
Probably could. Wouldn't surprise me.
Which is ridiculous, but okay. Craziness. All right. It's being said that the pandemic is a calculated step or process to change the world into something conceived by movers and shakers of the world. Do you believe that to be true, or is it just a conspiracy theory with no weight or validity? Well, see, I think these are the only two I left on here this week.
Mm-hmm.
And they both got picked. Oh, no, I love it. I love it. I love this one. All right, here we go. Who'd like to go first?
I'll go first.
Alrighty, let me move over to this right there. 3 minutes, and you can go now.
Yeah. I'm not one to believe in conspiracy theories. I really don't. But I do believe that they did take advantage of the situation. I think they're still taking advantage of the situation. By this time now, we have to understand that this virus probably isn't going to go away. You know what I mean? So I can completely understand them vaccinating and wanting to do all of that stuff. But they did a lot of lockdown stuff. They did a lot of stuff that probably could have been handled really differently. So I don't know, man. It's so much information that was mishandled, and we got so much bullshit when it came out that I honestly do believe that there was something. I just not sure what it was. I really don't. Like what's the purpose of it? You know, I know people talk about they're trying to thin the population and stuff like that, and I don't know. I just find that not enough people were died for them to even like be a consideration. Like, I mean, it's if they're trying to thin the population, they did a very bad job of it with this virus. But a lot of people are saying, well, it's the start. You know what I mean? This is what they're doing. It's the start of it, which is possible, but I just don't want to be the one sitting here thinking that our government is trying to kill us. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I don't want to think anything like that. So at the end of the day, I'm just gonna think that the virus got out and the government did what they could do to take advantage of the situation. I do believe that a lot of the things they do is to try and control us, and they try and show that they do have control over us. And I think that this virus had a lot to do with that. I think it had a lot to do to show that, okay, we can control the population, we can control the masses, you know? So I think that's one of the things that this virus has showed, that if anything does happen, you know, we won't fight back, we'll just accept it. Hopefully that's not the case if it goes too far, but I don't know. I just don't believe in the conspiracy stuff, and I don't want to believe in that. So I do think it was taken advantage of. I do think they took advantage of the situation, but I don't think that there's this conspiracy out there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all
Anything
I got.
else?
No, that's
Okay.
all I got.
Danny, 3 minutes. And your time starts maybe now. No. You're muted, Dan. Okay, there you go. All right. Here we go. Go.
I do think that they were testing this stuff out in case they do want to thin the population. I think it was definitely man made. I think that somebody is getting rich off of this because I did a little research and people get paid a ginormous amount of money for these patents on these vaccines and stuff. And if you look at every doggone month or two, there's a different version. First was just the regular 19. Then it went to Delta variant. Now it's at the Omnicrux or whatever you call it, Omni whatever. So next is gonna be fucking Megatron, and then doggone Soundwave and fucking Blasters. I mean, I don't. I think every few months you're gonna get a different variant and stuff, and I think that's just gonna okay. You need to take this booster, you need to take this shot, and then sooner or later they're not gonna start paying for this free. We gonna have to start paying for these boosters or whatever. So I think it's just the start of the beginning of where um, the powers that be, the movers, the shakers, the 1%, whatever you want to call it, is put something in play to make them even more money. Because I guarantee you, we look at this a few years down the road, and we look and see a bunch of these congressmen that got invested in this Moderna or invested in this Johnson or invested in this Pfizer and make a gazillion dollars and stuff. So that I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but the same way the government experimenting on the Tuskegee Airmen. Who's to say that this is not one big experiment they're doing on the masses now, and creating this panic, creating this thing, creating this so-called herd immunity, and maybe Anzo and the ones that didn't do it, maybe they're gonna be the survivor. I mean, we really don't know what this thing will do later on down the road. And people always say, well, it's the same thing with smallpox, and the same thing with chickenpox, and the same thing with measles. Yeah, but unless I'm mistaken, that stuff took time. The scientists took it, it was years to come up with that stuff. It wasn't something that the crisis was right then and there. 8 months later, it's going into development and being administered to the masses. So I don't know, man. You don't want to think your government would do you like that, but we live in a world now, man, that is so Solomon and Gomorrah like that it's ridiculous. So you don't know what you're gonna put back somebody. You never know what somebody's gonna do. So
I'm just waiting for you vaccinated people to turn into zombies. I'm just waiting for the zombies.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
just so that happen. That's gonna be pretty fucked up. But hey, who knows?
It would be fucked up if that happened. But hey, man,
Hey, man, World War Z.
Mhm.
I mean, you never know. And think, what else do you want to say, Anzo?
Oh no, that's it. I was just gonna say,
Oh, okay.
there's people that have got sick from the virus and stuff, from the vaccine and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I just it's hard to tell, man, whether they're doing it or not. I wouldn't put it past them, but you never know. You never know.
No, hey, you're right. All right. There is precedent, and Danny said Tuskegee Airmen. That was one of the big ones right there. Looking back on it, acid or LSD, acid, whatever you want to say, was used as a mind control drug. They thought, or a way to not read people's mind, but get them to tell you what information you might be storing. They used that on American troops. It's happened. I'm not going to say it's not possible. Anything's possible. I'm with Anzo, though. If you think this was controlling the population, listen, China doesn't care about what the world thinks. If they want to, they'll line up 100,000 people and just mow them down with a machine gun. They will. North Korea would do the same thing, too. There are certain countries that don't need a virus to do a population reduction. Now, it looks cleaner, probably. So is it possible? Again, yes, it's possible, but that I think is less likely. I mean, the problem with the idea of movers and shakers and this idea of a shadow government or the Illuminati or anything like that, and trust me, I love conspiracy theories. I love them so much. I study them. I really do like them. And there are some that are very, very compelling. The problem with the Illuminati is that the world's governments and economy, that even those people are ruled by, is controlled by the United States and China and Russia and a few other countries being relatively strong as far as economy goes. If those economies fail and crumble or literally take a dive like all at one time, the world will collapse under that. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you have $5 billion and you live in some hilltop mansion that's buried 50 feet into that hill and that you're part of the Illuminati. It doesn't matter. Your money will mean nothing. Everything you have, chaos will ensue. People will find you. People will tear you apart because by that time, nobody cares that you think you're this shadow government. Those people will be found. It's so difficult to say that, a conspiracy theory. I would lean more to a point that perhaps if you find this virus, somebody says, we need to see if we have something to fight this. So maybe we should let this out and see what it does. And it was controlled. There was more of a sense. It's a controlled experiment. It's like, let's let this out. We know we're going to be able to contain it because it didn't take them long to come up with the vaccine. and that's because they've been working on a basic vaccine for this type of thing for years. I would go more with it's just a test to see can we handle something like this. But I'm really wanting to lay off of the idea that a conspiracy or something like that happened. But let's talk about it. Danny?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I was waiting for you to start striking down our comments.
I just believe that this is a test. That they're testing it to see what it works. It seemed that for a minute they were trying to get a panic going and stuff, and as soon as it seemed like people are calmed down, then another freaking variant comes out, variation. Oh, the Omicron's coming out. Then what happened is people in a little panic now. They got South Africa quarantine. They can't fly in or out. Nobody can fly in out there. They'll stir that up, and then it'll get calmed down in probably another month or so, and people will start to kind of breathe easy because Christmas will be past us, and the numbers will go down and stuff, and then boom, Megatron virus, and then people anxiety will get back up and stuff. So it seems like they want to keep us in a state of panic or something. So I don't understand it.
I think that there are two types of people in this country. There are people, well, three, I would say. There are people like me. I got the vaccine. I got a booster. I go about my day-to-day business. We're not required to wear a mask right now, so I don't wear a mask, but I do kind of keep my distance.
There are three people in this world. You're right. People that had it, people that's going to get it, and people that's got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is what I mean is that there's the people who go about their day-to-day life. They got the vaccine. They're like, okay, fine, whatever, and they go about their life. They don't tell people what to do. They don't care if somebody gets it or not. That's like me. You know what? You don't want to get it? Don't get it. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Do I think there should be mandates? No, I really don't. But far be it for me to say anything about it. Here's the thing. What this does is by forcing this or these theories that come out, it takes the two extreme sides, the ones that will still get everything, get the vaccine, get the booster, wear 15 masks, and still hide out in the corner of their little room and think that they're not safe. There's that side. And then there's the people who are outright pissed off that they have to do anything to protect them or anybody else around them. And they're the ones, what they're doing by doing all this stuff is they're really separating those two out further and further and creating more radical people. And that's the big thing right now. That is something that I would go with, that they know they're splitting and dividing people. And that is a dangerous thing.
Which, to me, it was crazy with the human race. Okay, two things from everything I've heard, read, and been told that will help prevent you from getting it. If you wear a mask and if you practice social distancing. It's totally crazy to me when I look at the NFL for NBA. I look in the crowd, they right beside each other, ain't got a bit of a mask. And then when they get sick, they're looking all and want sympathy and stuff. God gives you common sense if you're a believer to make rational, common sense decisions. Now, I'm not saying I'm not a doctor, I don't know, but I don't go to those places for large crowds. Or if I'm going somewhere out, me and my wife going somewhere out, I always make sure when I go in the restaurant, I have my mask on. Then once the server gives me my food, then I'll take it off and eat. But I try to be conscious of that. And I just don't understand. To me, it doesn't make sense. You know that's something out there that may potentially hurt you or your family. If you choose not to get the vaccine, which is your choice, then it makes total sense to me to try to adhere to the other safeguards they have in place. But when people don't do it, and this thing going to go away, and then surprise once they get it, to me, it's just totally idiotic.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I always say this. I'm like, listen, man, if you don't want to get vaccine like I don't, I still take my protection, or I still do my protection. I still wash my hands, still wear my mask, even though we have to, but I still do it, right? Because I know I'm not just protecting myself, I'm protecting other people around me too as well. So I don't understand the people that are like, oh, I'm not wearing my mask and you can't force me to wear my mask in the store and all kinds of stuff like that. It's ridiculous. That's
the thing. They're really separating the two main outliers there. There's a big, wide middle area that a lot of people are just like, okay, I guess, I'll do it because I want to stay safe. I will or won't get the vaccine, but I'm going to be safe about it. If I don't get it, I'm going to still be safe. If I do get it, no. And Dragonfire, let me just say something. They want to keep tabs on you. They do keep tabs on you.
Yeah,
don't think that they don't. Yeah, you have a phone. That's why whenever everybody said, "Oh, they got a microchip," no, doctors were looking at you going like, "Right here. Well, why would we waste time putting something to track you in a shot when we have this?" Everybody, I mean, literally, homeless people come into the place I work and have a phone. Probably better or newer than mine. I'm not going to get into that, but still, it's like they're going to do it
on that one, bro. I'm with you on that one.
They're going to do it.
You got a credit card, they track you with your credit card. You got phone, they
look
track
in
you
the
with your
private
phone.
chat.
Yeah, I will. I will.
All right, let's see here. We're going to go to the next.
No.
All right, here we go. We're going to go to the last question of the night. Hey, Darius, what's going on? Jack's Law, thank you guys. All you guys coming in. Do me a favor, share out the stream and smash that like button, please. With all the close games and upsets this year in the NFL, do you think that it makes the NFL product better or worse? Talk about parity all the time on Square One. That's a little thing about parity right here. With all the close games and upsets this year in the NFL, do you think that it makes the NFL product better or worse? Who would like to take this question off first?
Shit, I'll go first.
Oh, I don't know why I
fucked that one up.
Hey, you know what? I'm telling you. All right, 3 minutes, man. Go.
Yeah. Absolutely makes it better, right? Because I find you don't know who's gonna win, you don't know who's gonna lose, and that's the best part about football. I know Danny likes to have the players, and he doesn't mind if all the good players are on one team, and he's absolutely right. They have every right to do that with the collective bargaining agreement. They have every right to play with whoever they want to. But for me personally, I like to see parity. I don't want to see the same teams win over and over again unless it's my team. They can win as much as they want to, right? If it's my team, I can watch the Steelers win every year for 10 years. I'd be fine with it. But I do understand that people that aren't fans of those teams don't want to see the same teams in the Super Bowl all the time. And I guess because it's not my team, I don't want to see it either. So I like the fact that the NFL has a lot of parity and that there's a lot of teams that's why it's any given Sunday. You know what I mean? Because anybody can beat anybody. And I love that about football. Basketball is a little bit different because in basketball, you play a best out of 7 and the best team is going to win 9 times out of 10 times. It's just a fact that the better team will win most of the times. But when it comes to football, you got one game. And if you have one bad game, you could be out. And when you have like multiple teams that are really good, it makes the season it makes it so much better. It really does, right? Even like last week, no one picked Detroit to win, and Detroit won their first game. Now, is it parity? No, but they got lucky and they won a game, and I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, I do think it makes it a lot better when you have a bunch of teams that are doing well and fighting for a playoff berth. It makes even the playoff race better, right? Because a lot of people like, playoffs are coming, I'll just watch the playoffs. But when you have parity and you have a bunch of good teams, it makes the race so much better. It's like, who's going to make the playoffs? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? So I honestly think that it definitely helps the NFL. It helps basketball. It helps hockey, whatever sport it is. It helps to have more than one team. It makes it entertaining for a lot more people. And that's what I like. And that's what I want to see. I don't want to see players coming together all on one team because in the NBA right now, even though it's kind of iffy, but at the beginning of the year, it's always the same teams. So Lakers making it to the finals. The Nets are making it to the finals. Now the season plays out. Maybe things different. Players get hurt or whatever. But just to sit there and know, or have an idea of who you think is going to make the Super Bowl, the playoffs, or win the championship, and then to find out that it doesn't happen. And I like that. So yeah, absolutely, it helps. I want to see more of it in more sports.
All right, Danny. 3 minutes. Time starts now.
See, I like how my words get twisted. And see, basically,
you like how your words get twisted.
Yeah,
how about that?
Yeah.
Put that shoe on the other foot. Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, you can pull a video on what you said, but I'll get back to you. I'll get to you later.
No, I didn't say anything like what you made it to sound like. No, I was using
the last show. You said, and you can pull it and say that you want a certain percentage. You're gonna be.
I said perhaps a certain percentage, and I said I don't know what that percentage would be. But you seem to quantify it exact.
I will have my evidence next week. Okay, don't lie. Okay, Nzo is pretty much full of shit because if the Spurs or the Pittsburgh Steelers was going to the Super Bowl, to the playoffs 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 times in a row, you would hear none of this. It'd be chirping.
He said he's fine with that. He said he was fine with that.
No, but he put my name in there about Danny. Like, yeah, I like to see the players have control over their destiny. Hell yeah, because I'm putting my play. How about if that's my son? If that's Ezekiel Graham, fuck yeah, I want Ezekiel Graham to have just as much clout to make his name, his brand, his whatever as rich as he can get it. Because Jerry Jones got money. And now pretty much he is kind of fucked up what he's doing. But once he got his money, he said, well, fuck you. I ain't playing no more. Hey, teams will do it in a heartbeat. When they see you get to look at that. The prime example of who did it. The GOAT, in some of our eyes. When Belichick saw him getting to a certain age, what did he try to do? Get his ass up out of there, get Jimmy Garoppolo. He couldn't get his way. He said, okay, well, fuck you, Mr. Kraft. I'm going to give the next person to the 49ers for much or nothing. A second round choice, whatever. So when the teams do it, the players, I guess, and the fans just say, that's a normal way and tear. No, if you don't want it like that, then you should have never agreed to the collective bargaining agreement to give the players that power. So even though I'm not a fan of LeBron, but the way he's doing this shit and making his money and getting his buddies to play, I don't give a shit. They can create 4 or 5 super teams. I don't care. But the NFL, this NFL, I think somebody put a jinx on or something because teams that's supposed to win ain't winning. Teams that's supposed to lose ain't losing. Is it interesting? Yeah, but is it make you scratch your head? Is it making, I guess, Vegas lose some money and I guess win some money? You can say that. Is it interesting? That's a word I choose for it. But I think when it comes down to ratings, there can be certain teams that the people just don't want to see. That just ain't gonna get no game. Let's just say hypothetically, Detroit was to make it to the wild card and get on a hot streak and make it to the Super Bowl. Who the fuck want to see Detroit play anybody? Don't nobody want to see that.
Brittany, who wants to see anybody from the NFC? What East is it?
I'm just nobody want to see the Redskins. My own team, and I'm like, really? Okay. Yeah, so wait, exciting.
I don't know.
You wouldn't want to see the Redskins?
I'd be happy, but if I'm really being honest, they ain't got like no superstar that's gonna tear. If they win it, yeah, I'll brag. But I want to see the best players playing the best players.
So let's say by chance the the Redskins made it to the Super Bowl against the Lions. I know it can't happen, but let's say they went to the Super Bowl against the Lions. Would you watch that Super Bowl?
I would watch it. I'm a Redskin fan, but I'd be like, God damn, boy, this right. Because you know the score gonna be something like 11-9.
Actually, it might be a high scoring game because they're both shit with no defense, right?
Man, I'm telling you, whether we want to admit it or not, I think the NFL they do control it because we all said that the champ has like the easiest schedule coming back. So that kind of gives them a fucking damn head start. Because the Buccaneers had the easiest schedule we were saying
this year, yeah.
So that kind of helps them get back there automatically. And most times when the champ, and I say this, I think we disagreed on this. I say the champ should have an easier schedule. You and Chris, Roberto said they should have a harder schedule. So I mean,
we did.
I think so.
They kind of helping them already. to come back. That maybe that's why Brady got so many rings, because as a champ, he maybe got an easier schedule. I
but
don't
you see
know.
the thing.
I ain't sit there and I haven't done the research on that to say that.
Mm-hmm. The thing with that, the schedule is going to be easy for them during the season, but it's how they do in the playoffs, right? So you can have an easy schedule and still come up against a fucking juggernaut of a team in the playoffs that you get smoked by, right? But yeah, they do have an easy schedule, and I don't think they should. They should have to fight for that number one seed. And if you win the championship and you get an easy schedule, then you're basically guaranteed the number one seed.
But that's kind of like, like if you win a game or something. Like if you watch these contests, whoever win a particular round, they get an advantage in the next round.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
Right.
Kind of like a bye. If you got home court advantage, then you get a bye week where you ain't got to play it. You automatically move up in the bracket. So I guess that's what it is. I mean, I don't know. I really ain't sit down and did the research.
All right. I don't mind this craziness. It drives me nuts, but I like it because, every week it's like, okay, are they going to win it? Are they not going to win it? I mean, everybody was just picking the Patriots like they were just going to steamroll over the Buffalo Bills, and that actually came down to the wire. Do I want to see the Chiefs win by 30 points? Yeah, I do. But actually, I like the fact that our defense is doing what it's doing. So it's always about what teams built the best for, the long haul. And any given Sunday, that gives you your Detroit wins. And of course, there are people who are Detroit fans and they know their team sucks. But man, they're happy this week. They got to win.
Absolutely.
That's all that matters to them. And that is part of football. It's like, you don't want that. You don't want Detroit fans to go through and suffer a 17 and an 0-17 season every year, or an 0-16.
Oh, well, may not every year, but I definitely wanted to see them go on. I definitely want to see them lose a game.
Well, and see how many picks they can get before they actually win like 5 games.
We're not
even going to go there. I mean, how you can have number one picks left and right every season and still not, like Jets and the Lions. It's like, how are you guys this bad still? I mean, don't they hand you the golden boy every year?
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. Would I want to see the Chiefs go undefeated every year and get to the Super Bowl every year? Yes, I'm not going to lie either. Honest's right. I'd love to see the Chiefs just walk up and down every team in the NFL day in, day out. That's fine by me. I'd love to see the Royals or whatever sports teams I watch. I'd love to see all of that happen. But at the same time, what does that prove then? Who cares? And it's like, why are you watching the game then? Because your team's going to win. That's not why you watch, because you still know that other team could beat your team, and you want to see how your team handles it.
Mm-hmm.
Your team loses, you walk away, and you're like, God damn, Jones should start catching that ball. Man, he dropped 3 passes today. And you bitch and moan about it. You're a Monday morning quarterback, or you're an armchair quarterback. That's part of being a fan. Your team's not perfect, but you want to see if they can do it. I mean, so if your team is just an automatic win, I just don't. It's like, I like the parity. I like the chances. This year, trust me, it's all sorts of fucked up, but it's kind of been like, holy shit, I guess nobody knows who's going to make it. I mean, who thought the Patriots would be the number one seed in the AFC currently?
Facts.
No one.
Facts.
Granted, it's the Patriots. God damn. But still. And think about it. 2 weeks ago, before the bye week, the Chiefs had a chance to drop from the 4th seed to the 7th seed. Here we are 2 weeks later, and they actually have gone up a seed, I think. Mm-hmm. They're in 3rd now, I think. It's like, how does that happen? I was just under the impression we were going to fall down into the wild card, because I swore that that was the week that I thought San Diego was going to win, and some other things like that were going to happen, and nope. And so it helped us out. 3 minutes. Let's just talk about this. Danny, I mean, do you like what's going on this year?
No, I don't like it at all.
Okay, you don't. Okay.
Why not, Danny?
I don't like all that shit. I'm fucking dead last almost and fucking the picks. I don't like that shit worth a damn.
Yeah, you know, we're a competitive bunch, the three of us. I mean, we are. It's just, but it's just crazy. I mean,
can't always have good picks like I do. You know what I mean? It's okay. I get it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yep. You can't always win versus. You can't always win versus either.
G Major, Lions owners don't build a team around their star players. Okay, let's start with the problem with that question or that statement right there. Who is their star players?
Who's star players?
He says the Lions owners don't build a team around their star players. That's the problem. And I'm like, well, wait, let's look at the problem with that statement right there. Who are the Lions star players?
Sure.
I'm just saying. You got to have star players in order to build around them, or at least have them act like stars. I mean, Oh, wow. Anyways, I think we all know how we are. I mean, we'll just count that as that. All right, guys, you know what this is. It's time for the wonderful, the highly anticipated, but never underestimated portion of the show that we like to call 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now for the moment that everyone's been waiting for. It's Chaos Central's Final 5 Fact or Fiction. Ah, yes, the Final 5 Fact or Fiction. Brought to you by absolutely nobody, because nobody wants to pay me to have sponsorships on this show. Fuck them, damn it. Anyways, let's get to a couple things at hand first off. We have two, count them, that we have a definitive answer for.
Nice.
Oh, boy. Yeah, well, you're not going to say that after this is over.
Oh, shit.
Billy, this is week 7, question number 4, Final 5 Fact or Fiction. Rolling Stone says that the Eternals, hot gods, will bore you to death. Fact or Fiction, the Eternals will be the lowest adjusted grossing film in the MCU history. It isn't. It's already passed several, so that's a no-go. And that means that we go to week 7. And we see that on question number 4, Danny said fiction, Anzo said fact, and I said fact, which means Danny.
Bullshit.
Danny gets a tally. Danny gets another tally. So that gives him 3-2.
I'm about to get 4 because I know y'all messed up on that parade too. I told you.
What did I tell you? We're a competitive bunch here. Week 8, question number 5, Final 5 Fact or Fiction. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, a holiday tradition, will be fully open to spectators again this year. Last year drew 21.98 million, almost as much as 2021. I'm going to look really quick here.
I already know the answer to this one because Donnie already posted. He's like, hey, I don't think there was any. Didn't you know we were in it?
21. Okay. This year, 25 million viewers. Last year, 25.9, and this year, 25.4. So it was only down 0.5, but that's not more. That's not even barely a little more. So unfortunately, we're going to have to give Danny another tally on the tally. So he is up 4-2. Oh, make sure we save that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Now, Final 5 Fact or Fiction question number 1. They aren't. This leak, that leak. There are so many things that appear to prove that Toby, Andrew, and Tom, then there isn't. Fact or fiction? Will all 3 Spider-Men appear in Spider-Man No Way Home?
Fact, they're in it.
I'm gonna say fact.
Fuck it. I'm gonna say fact, they're in it.
I'm gonna say fact.
Fiction,
Danny's
Danny?
like, Danny's like, here we go. It's like, all right. Basically, there's things saying they're in it, then they say they're not in it, then they are, then they're not, blah, 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 back and forth, back and forth. Are the 3 Spider-Men going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home? Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Fiction, Danny. Fiction. Fiction.
You see? What?
Fiction, Danny. Remember the last time I told you to go
I heard him say
right?
fiction. Did you hear him say fiction?
Yeah,
I heard him say fiction
too. Yeah, I heard him say fiction.
F-A-C-T. Fact.
I-O-N. Fiction. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, shit. All right. Question number 2. Getting LeBron on the floor this year has been a chore, either because the NBA is hindering that or his injuries and health are contributing to the Lakers being 13-12. Fact or fiction? Will the Los Angeles Lakers make it to the playoffs this year?
Oh, fact. They'll make it to the playoffs.
I'm going to say fact, too, because I mean,
come on, Danny.
13-12.
Lakers ain't making playoffs. Fiction. Say it.
I don't know, man, because they like 7 now.
They're in 7?
And that's 7, though. But how many times does LeBron play?
They're in the play-in. They're in the play-in.
Yeah, but
I don't know, bro. I come back on that one.
No.
No. It's your answer.
No, they made the playoffs. Fuck. I'll go with fact.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's your team, brother.
I don't let that sentimental shit get in the way of fucking contest.
Kim Kardashian West has been seen recently with Pete Davidson, yet Kanye recently made a passionate apology to Kim, and then Kim thanked him in a recent People's Choice Award speech. Fact or fiction? Will Kim and Kanye stay together and reconcile?
Fiction.
Fiction.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, fiction.
She done with that clown.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know it yet.
And she's a hoe.
Well, yeah, she is that.
She's a hoe.
Man, but you know what a hoe loves is when a man comes back on his knees.
That's true.
I'm telling you, I'm going to say fact. I don't think it'll last long, but I think they'll get back together and they'll drop the divorce, and then things will fall apart in a year or so again, and it'll be over. But I think they'll get back together long enough for everybody in the world to say, "Oh, they're back together. Look." But we'll see. I'll say fact since you guys are going fiction. But I mean, problem with that thought is that you guys know a brother better than I do. So
we don't know that brother. That brother's crazy.
Dude, he's nuts. All right. Final 5 fact or fiction. Question number 4. With Jamie Foxx's name being attached to a possible Spawn reboot remake, it seems that Todd McFarlane might get his chance to show his vision. Fact or fiction? Will the Spawn reboot remake actually happen?
Can't give us a time frame. I mean, shit. That could be.
I think that they're talking. Last I saw, within the end of 2022, possibly 2023. Fact of this is when they announce that it's going in for shooting, I'll count this one. It's been in production hell forever. If it gets past that and actually starts shooting, it's a given.
2022 next year, I'm gonna say fiction. They're
if we're saying 2022 next year, I'm saying fiction.
Well, I'm saying 22 to 2023. I mean, sometime within
I was saying fiction for both.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fiction. I'm gonna say fiction also because I mean it may happen someday, but wow. All right. Last one, question number 5. It seems inevitable that the Bodyguard is going to be remade. Chris Hemsworth. Yep.
Cardi B?
It is. Yep. Chris Hemsworth and Cardi B are just two names circling in connection with this project. That's not necessarily who's going to do it. Those are names attached to it occasionally. Will the Bodyguard remake do better than the original?
Fiction.
I'm going to say fiction also on that one. Especially if Miss Cardi B's in it. Not saying she ain't a good looking woman. It's just, oh my God. It's there was something about Whitney Houston and Kevin
was in our prime, and Kevin Costner is still relevant now. Because Yellowstone is taking off, and no.
Oh, dude, do you watch this show?
Oh yeah, Yellowstone fire,
dude. Oh, I love that show. That show's awesome.
Fiction, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I should just put you down for that because and like I was saying, Whitney Houston. That movie was made at the perfect time because Kevin Costner was just hitting his main big time stride. I mean, he's still big time, I think, but he was hitting a good stride. And then she was just at the top of her game. And the fact that everything with that movie, and it's a good movie. I mean, it's not the best movie in the world. It just works the way it's done. And if you think about it, that whole, mixed race or, mixed couple type thing going on. It just it had a lot of things that nowadays
Especially
people do purposefully. Yeah. People do it purposely now. That felt natural. It worked so well, and they weren't even forcing it. Why can't they make movies like that now? That's another one to prove right there. You can do it with the right story. No problems. Nobody has a problem. All right, guys. Thank you very much, you guys, for being here. Everybody in the chat, guys, great conversation in there. Price is Right review. Darius was here. Shifty Gizm. I know I saw Jason Lee in there. Mystic Shadows, G Major, Jack's Law, King David. Let's see here. Who else? We had Patricia Kennedy, I Love Food, Dragonfire, Yvette was here, Jack's Law, Mia One. All you guys, thank you very much for being here. I really do appreciate it. And basically, that's it. Nzo, tell them about yourself. Tell them what's coming up next on your channel.
Yeah, guys, next up will be the OOC, which we're getting started right after we do this. But Monday, we have Danny's show, Chaotic Conversation. Then mine on Tuesday, the Chaotic List. And then this one, the Rule of Three. Great show today, man. And I'm glad that I was able to do it with you guys.
Great. Glad you were here, man. Danny, tell them about yourself.
Hey, I'm Danny, aka Comet Chat. 1/3 of this terrific team that you see here before you. Saturday at 4:30 p.m. You can catch the three of us along with Roberto on Square One. We're talking pure NFL, pure NBA. And then later on that evening at 8 o'clock, you can catch me on the first edition of episode 4, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, episode 4 of Hawkeye. I may not. Nzo's going to cover me on Sunday because I have to go out of town next week. So I don't believe I'll be able to do my show on Monday. But however, I can jump on Nzo's show on Tuesday by my phone and also yours, Chris. But I won't be able to do my own show. I already asked Nzo to cover for me, and I think he's going to do it. So other than that, man, fantastic show. It's always fun shooting with you two guys, man. And go Chaos Central. Hey. You call me the old man and all this kind of stuff. I take all that. But the old man is in the lead. Last time I checked.
So, whatever.
On this one.
How you doing in football?
Okay, two out of 3 ain't bad. I get my ass whipped in football, but versus I'm undefeated, which I'm going to maintain that. God. This right here, I'm smacking your butt 4-2. Hey, I'm spitting facts. I ain't making up no fictitious shit.
He's right.
Am I lying?
One thing I never knew about Danny is I never knew he had this cocky ass attitude when he wins.
You rubbing off on me.
Excellent. Oh yes, beautiful.
I am going to rig that versus.
Go ahead. Go ahead and clip that. Clip it.
I'm rigging it.
Now, if I lose, y'all heard it right here.
He rigged it. Right. And I am Chris Knight. Real Review 3000 is my channel. I'm also over on Honstar's channel, a lot of other places. But guys, thank you very much. Remember, next week, 3 shows, all here on Khaos Central. And you can check me out on the weekly wrap-up coming up on Sunday. Might do a couple gaming streams. Other than that, we are officially out of here. Peace.
Peace.
I am inevitable.